female faces. Unlike the others, they were not whooping and cheering for the young prince and his heroic father. The bard noticed their disapproval, but he didn't care. He didn't sing for women. They couldn't pay for his songs. He would inform other singers he met on the road of the Athenian preferences too, provided they weren't too stuck up to share food and information with him in return. But he might stay in Athens a little while yet. The trial was just beginning, and while Athens itself was a poor hole of a palace, men had come from far and wide to view it, bringing the smell of money with them, more than enough to attract a man who lived by his wits. As the sun began to set, causing the newly built temple, higher on the hill than any of its predecessors, to glow like a beacon, the little man brought his tale to a close. He looked upon his audience, barely able to stand, hugging one another and shaking their fists at the Cretan princess. A good day's work. No one would run him out of the court now. He stood up and sauntered toward the kitchen to inquire about the dinner he had earned, and perhaps even a maid to accompany it. Act 1. Crete. The men of Athens are muttering to one another under their breaths. The normal boisterous shouts haven't given way to the silence reserved for a sacred ceremony. The room, the same one used for meals, has been cleared of tables. The long benches have been repurposed for the jurors, as they are being called. The maids have done their best, but there was little time between breakfast and the start of the trial. One man is sitting in a pool of meat juices. His clothes will reek of it later, but for now he hasn't noticed. And when he does, well, there's a maid for that too. Some of them think to last night, when they saw the defendant cheering and drinking with the others, stretching out his legs at the table as if he had not a care in the world. And what should he have to fear from this court of men? There is only her word against his. What man has not witnessed the malice of a jealous woman? And she is not a woman like other women, daughter of a king, sister of a monster, a princess of Crete. All have heard stories of the women of Crete. Outside there is a shuffling of feet. The men straighten in their seats, nudge their neighbors, heads turn expectantly toward the door. She is coming. It begins.
Phaedra. I was 8 years old when I first heard about my mother's reputation, although I didn't understand what I was hearing then. We were outside the palace, and I was trailing behind Ariadne and Mother. Even at 11 or 12, Ariadne was already as tall as most women, and I dawdled behind, watching their legs move in time, their long auburn hair swish back and forth, and I longed for the time when I would be as lithe and elegant as they were. That time never came. I cannot recall now where we were going. I do remember that my father was away and we were surrounded by soldiers and guards, men with long spears who wouldn't even look at me out here in the open, although when we were in the palace, they would often smile at me, offer me a sweet if my mother wasn't looking, and tell me about the little girls they had left at home. They never told Ariadne such things, even though she was far prettier than me. Ariadne turned back and glared at me. "Keep up, Phaedra." My mother paused and turned. It was uncanny how much they resembled one another, their hazel eyes shining in the sun, their skin tanned and glowing, as though my sister was not my mother's daughter, but her own self again.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.